Hey, what the fuck happened to Lyman? You guys remember Lyman from the Garfield comics? It was like, he had a green sweater, mustache. He was the original owner of Odie. He ran in the comics from 1978 to 1983. That guy? Remember him? Well, I called my dad, and I said, "Hey, Dad, you remember Lyman from Garfield?" And he said, "No. Why would I remember something like that?" Which is fair, and I don't really blame him for that. But I was curious. And so I took to the internet. And I fell down a weird rabbit hole. First, let's establish who Lyman is. For this purpose, let us dive headfirst into the wild world of the Garfield Wiki. Lyman's not a super memorable character, especially because he was cut out of the Garfield comics without explanation. He appeared sparsely in strips from 1981 up until 1983, where he disappeared completely. He had a green shirt, a mustache, and Garfield seems to fucking hate him, or at the very least, enjoy tormenting him as much as he does everyone else in his life. Jim Davis said that his original purpose was to be someone that John could bounce ideas off of and talk to. However, Garfield himself essentially took over that role, so Lyman kind of became a superfluous character, which of course led to his eventual departure from the strip. But why is it that people think that something darker lies under the surface? Well, it could be due to the fact that Lyman's exit was largely unexplained. However, there were a few other facets that contributed to this growing paranoia, some of which was contributed by Jim Davis himself. One popular theory came from this strip, where John accuses Garfield of being a shape-shifting alien. However, look closely at the front page of the paper. That is 100% a bona fide Lyman. So, what does that mean? Was Lyman an alien? Or is the real cause of his disappearance something a little more sinister? In a book published in 1988, for Garfield's 20th anniversary, there were character profiles that were set up, and one of the bonus panels in that book was a character profile for Lyman himself. And detailed in the description were a variety of different possible reasons why he could have left the strip. Now, a lot of these reasons are somewhat improbable and very unconvincing when you take into account a lot of what we know about the Lyman lore. Now I'd like to share Lyman's character profile with you and this list of reasons, and maybe we can get some sense of where he went. Alright, so here is the actual character profile. You can see Lyman there in his lovely little blazer. Let's just go down the list and take a look at each of these reasons why Lyman supposedly left the comic strip. So number 10. Left the strip to pursue a dream of Olympic figure skating gold. Now, that doesn't seem very likely to me, seeing as we never really heard anything about it later on. Number 9. Joined the CIA working undercover in Russian comics. It's possible, I guess. That would explain his sudden disappearance and the rewriting of his origin story. Number 8. Had lunch with Jimmy Hoffa, and then, I don't even want to think about what that implies. Number 7. Took the role of Elaine on Taxi. I am too young to understand that reference. Number 6. He hit on Blondie and Kathy and was fired. If that's true, that's not cool, Lyman. You definitely deserve to be fired. Number 5. Disfigured in a drawing accident. That's nothing. Moved to San Francisco. Also nothing. Number 3. Opted for a career in hotel-motel management. Is that a Sugar Hill Gang reference? My dad says no. Number 2. Ballooned to 270 pounds and wouldn't fit the cartoon panels. I'm just ignoring this uncool fat joke. And number 1. Don't look in John's basement. There's the kicker. So what does this mean? Don't look in John's basement. Well, let's take a look at a Garfield Halloween game, which was available on the Garfield website until 2020, called Scary Scavenger Hunt, as well as its sequel, Scary Scavenger Hunt 2, Donuts of Doom. In the first game, there is a secret room that you can uncover as you play through. Now, where is this secret room? Why, it's in the basement, of course. Now, what I'm about to show you is somewhat disturbing, so just a heads up. So when you find this room, you discover this. Lyman has been chained to a wall. His dialogue reveals that he's starving, and he asks Garfield for some muffins, which you can give him. You may also notice that he appears to be missing some fingers. Not only that, but there are an assortment of skulls and bones also in the basement. And if you re-enter the room, he will have fully disappeared. Hey, Jim Davis. What the fuck? But where did Lyman go? Well, to answer that question, let's see what happens the next time we encounter him, in the sequel. Now, in the game, if we go down into the basement, there's no longer a Lyman chained up on the wall. No, instead, there is a coffin, which is somewhat foreboding, but this is not where we actually see Lyman. We do find him later on with his head in the oven. What the fuck, Jim Davis? So is that really the end of the story for Lyman? Well, not according to a 2012 episode of The Garfield Show, where TLDR, he goes to Australia to hunt a mystical creature, and it was some kind of doctor, and then the doctor died, so he assumed sort of the mantle of this mythical creature and this doctor. But I don't know, is that even canon? Does it outweigh what we've seen in the direct comic canon and in these games? But even so, this episode doesn't explain some of the more unnerving parts of Garfield lore that we're already aware of. And at the center of it all is John. And I think that's the real question we should be asking. Who is John Arbuckle? I mean, John is clearly unwell. He talks to his cat, who he believes is talking back. The comic strip Real Field illustrates this perfectly. To further illustrate the horrors of this reality, John loves Odie, and as Reddit user Obi2Kenobi, who helped come up with this theory, states, he would kill for a dog like that. And maybe he already has. It's John. It's always been John. John is the mastermind behind Lyman's disappearance. He deserves his own video at this point, because it's clear to me now that he is a cold-blooded killer. Which is why I am launching a full investigation into the affairs of Jonathan Q. Arbuckle. Together, we can bring this man to justice. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to check out the rest of the stuff on the Twisted Mug Media feed. We put out tons of new content, podcasts, videos, let's plays, whatever you're looking for. Hey, if you like spooky stuff, make sure to check out my podcast, Twisted Mug Mysteries, which is your one-stop shop for everything spooky and occult, where I do deep dives into hauntings and serial killers and everything like that. We also have social media. You can check us out on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, the works. So thank you once again for watching. My name is Brendan Masser, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.